What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Gamer Visuals channel, and as you guys can see, it has finally happened. Hogwarts Legacy has released, well, early access released, and maybe by the time you're watching this, the game is finally released, because I didn't want to post a video before the game actually released to spoil stuff for the players that had to go ahead and wait till the 10th. But anyway, today in our video, we're going to be going over some of the things with you guys that I wish I would have known before I started playing, and I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a couple little tips to go ahead and help your gameplay as you get into it. And now, first thing I want to say right off the rip is that, of course, this video won't be completely spoiler-free because I'm revealing stuff about the game, but I'll reveal very limited information about the main story so that I don't ruin it for you guys, because, you know, I think the story is a huge part of what makes this game so magical, and I know a lot of you are still going to be at the very beginning. So anyway, let's hop into my top tips right after a word from our sponsor. Stop overpaying for Windows 10 and 11 activation keys. With VIP-URCDKEY, you can install and activate Windows for only 16 bucks.
Hey, that's pretty good.
It's fast, easy, and 100% legit. You'll now have a fully activated version of Windows 10 that is also upgradable to a Windows 11 if you want. So check out the links below and save yourself some money. Now, let's get back to the video. Okay, so the first thing I want to point out to you new players is something that you can do before you even get in the game. Make sure that you have created and linked your Wizarding World account and WB Games account so that right when you enter the game, all of your pre-order or upgraded edition rewards will automatically be imported into the game for you. This includes your house and wand choice from your Harry Potter fan club account as well, and we'll talk more about the fan club stuff here in one of my next tips. Okay, so what I want to start with is my #1 tip for every new player, and that is to explore everything and use the Prevail spell a lot. So this game is a massive open world, and it has so much to offer the player that sets out to find it. This game seriously rewards the player that explores off the beaten path, and that is how the game designers actually wanted it to be. Make sure that you're always casting Prevail and looking around for chests, field guide pages, or puzzles, because they are everywhere in the world and can hold some very valuable and useful loot for you at all stages of the game, and they are also worth a lot of XP and will help you level. I can't stress this enough. Don't just play the main story, explore all this world has to offer because it offers you a lot. And hey, you never know what might be behind that random wall you might just have walked past had you not had this mindset. My next tip is in regards to choosing your house, because I saw this comment in one of my previous videos. There was a whole scene where you get to take part in the sorting hat ceremony, which is actually really awesome, and you get to make choices and talk to the sorting hat, kind of like Harry did in the books and the movies. Now, for those of you who imported your Wizarding World account, you will be pre-shown that house, but you also get to have the choice to still choose any house that you want. I did just want to clear this up for you guys, and our next tip is along the same lines. Like I said, our next tip is for when you get the first quest to go visit Hogsmeade and choose your wand. Now again, if you imported your Wizarding World profile, your wand will already be imported and you get to choose it if you want, but again, you also have the choice to choose any other wand build that you want. So don't feel like you're locked into what you got on your Harry Potter fan club account. Another thing regarding the wands that you might want to pay attention to is the wand handles that you will find later in the game. So when you build your wand, you really just want to pay attention to what the middle to the end of it looks like, because once you find your first wand handle, you can completely customize and change the look of your wand, and you'll find a lot of these throughout your playthrough. Now, this next tip is just because it's a funny thing that I did when I first visited Hogsmeade. So I was trying to be cheeky, and I decided to buy an Invisibility Potion early on to try to crack one of those eyeball chests that lock themselves when you go up to them and they see you. Well, you actually end up getting the invisibility spell pretty early in the main story, and this will allow you to be invisible whenever you want and open every one of those eyeball chests. So if you're like me and you found all these and you really want to get them open, just wait for a little bit longer. So lucky for me, I found out that the invisibility potion I bought, though, is not worthless. You can actually use it in the middle of combat to disappear and get the drop on your enemies after you've already got into combat with them, while the invisibility spell doesn't have any effect once you're already in combat. So just keep that in mind. Okay, my next tip is regarding legendary chests that you're going to find. So these are the most important, in my opinion, chests in the game, because you are guaranteed a legendary item every time you open it. And now there is a big thing you want to pay attention to before you go up to one of these chests. Now, opening these chests when you have a full inventory will cause you to lose that item, and even if you come back later to get it, it will be the same level as when you first touched the chest and tried to open it. So the gear won't be useful to you if you end up coming back to that chest way later down the road and you've already got something better. It'll only just sell for a bit of money. So if you guys want to actually exploit this and you really want to get something good out of this, you can actually just save your game right before opening one and then open the chest, see what you get. And if you don't need that piece of gear, you can then just reload your game and then open it again for a chance at another piece of gear because they're randomized every single time you open it. So just remember, guys, check your inventory before you go up to a legendary chest so that way you have room to grab your new item. Okay, and my next tip is regarding challenges. So make sure that when you see them pop up, especially in combat or something like that, make sure you do them. They are actually worth a really good amount of XP and also give you really good rewards inside of your field guide once you complete enough of them. Also, make sure that you are constantly checking your challenge menu for what to complete in the area you're in, and also check for your rewards like I just said. There are a lot of them scattered throughout the entire world, and they're actually really useful as a leveling tool and also to gain really cool transmog for all of your gear. Alright, and now let's talk about some puzzles. This game has a serious amount of really cool puzzles to do, and they all give the player some serious gratification once you're able to finally figure them out. Most of them just require you to use a certain spell on an object, and then they reveal a field guide page. But there are also these doors that have a serious looking puzzle on them. Now, at first examination, most of you will come to the same conclusion that I did when I first saw one of these and assume that you just have to basically do some math and maybe figure out which little picture the question marks and the triangles correspond to, and then press the buttons until you get the right combo. Well, that's how you do it, but actually figuring out what the answer is can be really tricky, especially if you're stubborn like me and end up spending like 45 minutes trying to get the answer. Ugh. Or you can just use the cheat sheet that you find in the castle. Now, this part will be a bit of a spoiler for some of you who like puzzles, so if that's you, just go ahead and skip this part. To find the cheat sheet, you need to head to the Divination Classroom Flue waypoint, and then instead of going into the classroom, you turn around and you go to the right into the wooden-looking hallway, and then as you go down a little bit, you take another right, and you'll find one of the puzzles. So the cheat sheet that you find, it'll reveal what each symbol actually corresponds to. Of course, their numbers. And now, looking at this, if you guys didn't know about this, who else thought that you started with a 1 and not a 0? I mean, come on, I can't be the only one, right? But anyway, after you figure this out, you should easily be able to go up to these problems, do the math, and then get the door open. And as you go inside, make sure you cast Revelio and find all of your loot. Alright, and now my last tip for you in this video is making sure that you are always able to progress in the game, and this has to do with always checking your quest log for quest requirements, as some of the main quests require you to do certain tasks for a teacher before they will advance you to the next part of the quest or teach you a very useful spell to use. Also, reading your owls is very important. From time to time, you'll receive owls, and until you read them, you may not be able to accept a very important quest that you will need to advance even in the main storyline. And lastly, when you pass by your fellow students in the halls that may want to chat with you and send you on a new adventure, always accept them. The side quests in this game are very fun and can be very lucrative in form of items, money, and even abilities that you get once you help someone out and complete the quest. Just remember, you can always do them later if you're fixated on something else in the moment, so just accept the quests so you don't miss out on them. Anyway, guys, these are my tips for this video. Let me know down in the comments if I missed something that you guys wanted to talk about. Let me know and maybe I'll put it in a future video. But that's going to conclude this one, and I'll catch you guys back in Hogwarts.